Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. First off, on behalf of the whole team at Polymer Bazaar, a very happy Independence Day to you all. Okay, we've got a lot to cover today. This is your mid-August 2026 executive briefing. We're diving right into the PET weekly report and future trends for the third week of August, and we're going to map out exactly what you need to know to navigate this market.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our game plan for today. First, we'll look at global pet market trends. Then, we've got a quick update on instant AI market intelligence. Third, we'll check the Indian Bazaar market pulse. And finally, we'll wrap up with your strategic procurement recommendations.
All right, Section 1, Global Pet Market Trends, Mapping the Macro Dynamics. Let's jump straight onto the global trading floor.
So looking at the big picture, there's a really clear contrast across major global hubs right now. Over in the US, demand improvement is basically non-existent. Import availability has dropped, and that leaves DDP US West Coast prices sitting right at $1,540 per metric ton. And, it's a pretty similar story over in Europe. Purchases are incredibly sluggish. Buyers there are actually preferring imported variants right now just to capitalize on those price differences, with FTD Northwest Europe prices hitting €1,210 per metric ton. Basically, it's a remarkably slow week for Western demand.
And this brilliantly illustrates the divergence as we move east. Look at Turkey. We're seeing really stable export demand there, holding prices steady at $1,310 per metric ton. But contrast that with China. Over there, widespread geopolitical confusion is keeping demand incredibly dull. Buyers are strictly, and I mean strictly, adhering to need-based purchasing. That's keeping spot prices pinned at 7,350 RMB per metric ton. It's a stark reminder, isn't it? Macro geopolitics directly dictate localized trading behavior.
Moving on to Section 2, Instant AI Market Intelligence, featuring the Polymer Bazaar chatbot.
Look, keeping up with these fast-moving global shifts across multiple continents manually, it's nearly impossible. Trying to track U.S. imports while at the same time monitoring Chinese geopolitics takes immense effort. That's exactly why Polymer Bazaar's platform focuses squarely on three things: price, prediction, and profit. To empower your trading decisions with real-time data, they've deployed a really powerful new AI-driven chatbot.
And getting set up is an incredibly simple two-step process. Step 1, just open WhatsApp on your phone and text the word PET to +1 93746 24365. Step 2, wait about 5 seconds. Yes, literally just 5 seconds. Way less time than it takes to pour a cup of coffee. You'll receive instant market updates and predictions right in the palm of your hand. For supply chain executives managing millions in procurement, this ensures you never, ever miss a beat on shifting prices.
Okay, let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds into the Indian Bazaar market pulse, zooming into local supply.
Looking at the overseas supply coming into India, suppliers are currently offering fresh PET bottle grade at a 0.80 intrinsic viscosity for around $1,170 per metric ton CIF India, and that's specifically for September 2026 shipments. Now, what about rate revisions? Well, local producers have actually opted to keep their prices unchanged for this week. But pay attention here, because this is the critical variable that fundamentally alters the risk calculus if you're a buyer sitting on the fence right now. The price protection scheme has been officially withdrawn effective August 14th.
And that brings us to the buying pulse, which frankly is showing very weak strength. The market psychology here is fascinating, yet entirely predictable when you look at the data. Converters are actively refraining from new raw material purchases. Why? Well, because there's absolutely zero gain happening in finished product sales. I mean, if the finished goods aren't moving off the shelves, converters have zero incentive to stock up on raw materials, right? Compounding the issue, traders already have sufficient stock sitting in their warehouses. It creates this massive bottleneck in purchasing momentum across the board.
Finally, Section 4, Strategic Procurement Recommendations, Your Action Plan.
So, what does this all mean? Let's talk about what this entire global-to-local funnel actually means for your bottom line and your immediate procurement strategy. When you combine the sluggish global demand in the West, that geopolitical stagnation in China, the local withdrawal of the price protection scheme, and the fact that converters just aren't buying because finished goods aren't selling, well, the writing is heavily on the wall, guys. Given these prevailing supply and demand scenarios, there's a very high likelihood that local producers are going to be forced to lower their ex-works prices in the near future. So because of that outlook, here is our ultimate authoritative purchase recommendation for mid-August. Our action directive is loud and clear. Buy strictly on a need basis. Hold your ground.
If you don't urgently need the material to fulfill an immediate confirmed order, do not buy it right now. Just let the market adjust to this excess supply and weak demand. Patience is absolutely going to protect your margins here.
If you want to dive deeper into these numbers, you can easily access the full PDF report by visiting polymerbazaar.com/future-trend/PET. And if you're actively looking for buying and selling leads for PET, reach out directly to the relationship manager at +91 79840 24365. Finally, to make sure you never miss these critical market insights, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and share this explainer with your industry friends. And don't forget to press the bell icon so you're immediately notified for our upcoming updates on other commodity and engineering polymers.
I want to leave you with this final thought as we look ahead to the new week. With local producers highly likely to lower their ex-works prices very soon, is your procurement strategy actually ready for next Monday's trading session? Take the time to align your plans with this data. On behalf of Polymer Bazaar, have a fantastic, happy weekend, and we'll see you right back here for the next trading session starting next Monday.